Guys, how are you today? So in the last lesson we have started the first lesson of chapter 10, fractions of a set. And we have learned to find a fraction of a set by the strategy of divide and multiply the fraction. So first of all, I will divide the whole number by the denominator in the fraction, then multiply it by the numerator. And now we'll start the lesson 2 in chapter 10, equivalent fractions, number line diagrams. In this lesson, you will understand fractions on a number line, and you will be able to define the position of the fraction on number line. You will use the number line to find equivalent fractions, and finally you will be able to find equivalent fractions without a number line or without using number line. Let's get started, girls. Here we have 6 out of 8 or 6/8. I want to show this 6 out of 8 on the number line. I will see the position of 6 out of 8. So how is that? First of all, this number line, you should divide it into between 0 and 1 whole number, because the fraction comes between these two numbers, the 0 and the 1. Look at 6 out of 8. This number line, I should divide it into 8 parts because my fraction has 8 in the denominator, and you know that the denominator shows the number of the total parts in any shape or in any diagram or in any model. So we will start with 0. As you see here, we have 8 parts. Okay, so we start 0 out of 8, 1 out of 8, so my fraction is out of 8. So I start from 0, counting until I get 8 out of 8. It means one whole number. So look at 6 out of 8 in the yellow circle. It comes here. So you just count 6 parts. So you'll get 6 out of 8. 6 is the part, the 6th part, and the 8 is the denominator. So 6 out of 8. I will ask you a question. What is the equivalent fraction of 6 out of 8 on another number line? Look at here. If I divide the 8 parts into 4 groups, so I'll get a new number line that is in red, as you see in this picture. Here we have this number line is divided into 4 parts. It means that my fraction should be 4 in the denominator, or it will be out of 4. So let's number the fraction on number line. We'll start as usual from 0. So 0 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 2 out of 4, 3/4, and 4 out of 4. It's equal to 1 whole. Okay, so I will go from 6 out of 8 and we'll see which number or which fraction comes in the same line. So as you see here, 6 out of 8 is equal to 3 out of 4. So 6 out of 8 and 3 out of 4 are equivalent fractions. Very nice. So here is the idea of writing the fractions on a number line. Let's move to the other idea. Here is how to find the equivalent fraction for any fraction you have. Here we have 1/2. How can I find an equal or equivalent fraction for 1/2? Okay, here we have a rule. The rule says that whatever I do to the top, I've got to do to the bottom. What does that mean? It means to change any fraction into another fraction that is equal to my fraction. You should multiply or divide whatever you do, but you should do the same. So whatever you do to the numerator, you should do to the denominator. Let's see here. You can find an equivalent fraction to 1/2 using any number you want. So if I decide to multiply by 2, I will get my fraction 2 out of 4. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So my equivalent fraction to 1/2 is 2/4, as you see here. So remember, whatever I do to the top, I've got to do to the bottom. It means that when you multiply any number with a numerator, you should multiply the same number in the denominator. And you can choose any number you want. I want another equivalent fraction to 1/2. So I will use another number. I can multiply by 3 now. 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. As you see here, if I multiply the numerator by 3, I should go to the denominator and multiply it also by 3, so I will get 6. So 1/2 and 3/6 are equivalent fractions. Let's try another number. Yes, we can try 4. If I want another equivalent fraction to 1/2, I can choose another number. But remember that the number that you will do it up, you should do it in the bottom. So times 4. 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. So 1/2 and 4/8 are equivalent fractions. Very nice. Let's try this example. 3 out of 4. Can you find another equivalent fraction for 3 out of 4? Yes. Decide which number you want. Okay. If you want to multiply by 2. So if you decide to multiply the numerator by 2, you should multiply the denominator also by 2. So numerator by 2 and denominator by 2. Let's see what will happen. 3 times 2 and 4 times 2. So 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 2 is 8. Whatever I do to the top, again, I got to do to the bottom. Okay. Here we have one more idea, is to decide if these fractions are equivalent or not. So 4 out of 7 equals to 12 out of 28. Remember the rule. The thing that I will do in the top, I should do it in the bottom. So let's see the 4, how it changed to 12. You will ask yourself, how the 4 changed into 12? Yes, you multiplied it by 3. So if I multiply the numerator by 3, directly I should multiply the denominator by 3 also. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 7 times 3, what is it? 21. But look at this fraction, it has 28. So the answer is no. It's not equivalent fraction. Let's try another one. 5 out of 6 equals to 40 out of 48. Is that correct? Let's see how the 5 changed into 40. Yes, you multiplied it by 8. So what you should multiply the denominator? Yes, also by 8. So 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8, 48. Yes, this is what I have. So I will write here yes, because this fraction is equivalent to the 5 out of 6. Let's try 3 out of 10 equals to 21 out of 30, and 6 out of 9 equals to 36 out of 54. Let's think about it, girls. Okay, very nice. So as you see here, the answer for the 3 out of 10 and 21 out of 30 is no, because the 3 will multiply it by 7 to get 21, and if you multiply the 10 by 7, you'll get 70, not 30. So it's not. And the last exercise, you know that the 6 changed into 36 by multiplying 6. So 6 times 6, 36. And go to the denominator, also multiply it by 6, related to my rule. So 9 times 6 is 54. So yes, this is what I have, 36 out of 54. So yes, these fractions are equivalent. Let's try this one. Here we have different idea. Here we have a missing numerator. So 1/4 equals to what out of 12? As you see here, in both sides, the denominator is known or is shown. So 4, I can see how the 4 changed into 12. So I will work here with the denominator because both sides are known. So 4, how it changed to 12? Yes, multiply by 3. So directly, because you multiply the denominator by 3, you should multiply the numerator by 3. So 1 times 3, you will get 3. So 1/4 and 3 out of 12 are equivalent fractions. Let's try another one. 2/3 equals to 1 out of 9. So also here the denominator is known. Sometimes the denominator is missing, so we will work with the numerator. But here the denominator is known, so I will work with the denominator. How the 3 changed into 9? You multiply it by 3. So go to the numerator and multiply by 3, you will get 6. So 2 times 3 is 6. So 2/3 equals to 6 out of 9. Let's see this question. What fraction is shown on the number line? Okay, let's make a review here. As you see, the number line has how many parts? It has, okay, how can you know your fraction? Yes, you will count the number of the parts or the groups on this number line, so you can see that we have 5 groups or 5 parts. So where's the star? Yes, the star on the 2/5. Yes, why? Because it comes in the second part, and how I will know that it's 5? My denominator is 5 because here we have 5 parts. So my fraction will be out of 5. The star here comes in the second part. So 2 out of 5 or 2/5. At the end, let's see this question. Here we have a missing numerator and in both questions. 2 out of 3 equals to what out of 9? Yes, we multiply both numerator and denominator by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. So my new fraction is 6 out of 9. Okay, let's see question 2. 4 out of 6 equals to what out of 12? Very nice. So as you see here in the denominator, the 6 changed into 12. So how it changed? By multiplying by 2. So if I multiply denominator by 2, I should multiply the numerator also by 2. So if you multiply the 4 by 2, you'll get 8. So my equivalent fraction is 8 out of 12. Thank you, girls, and see you next time.